What's going on, guys? I want to do another shop project video for you, and I think this time I'm going to try to show all the steps a little bit more in depth as I do them, as I think we could probably wrap this up fairly quickly. And if I can, I'm going to see if I can't even do it all without cutting the camera off. So what we want to do on this project, I'm actually going to try something I kind of had an idea for. Don't know how well this will work, but I'm feeling pretty good about it in my mind. So if it doesn't work, if it's a total failure, the worst we did was, waste a few minutes figuring that out. But I want to try to make a new sanding block, one that I think will be not only simple and quite cheap, but also very effective and comfortable to use. So I got the idea when I was walking through the dowel rod section at the hardware, and some of you guys may have seen a recent shop tip video I put out on using craft sticks or popsicle sticks as sanding blocks, and I do really like those and think they work quite well, especially for getting into tighter corners, and they do flex a little bit if you want a little bit of a concavity or convex to whatever you're working on. But I got to looking at these 3/8 square dowel rods at the hardware and thought they'd probably make just as good, if not better, of a sanding block, as you can get a little bit more of your hands around it. You got 4 sharp corners to work with, a little bit more sandpaper that you can more easily wrap around it, and we'll kind of show all that when this is all done, as far as the benefits and the ease of use. But I kind of got to thinking, it's all well and good to just use the stick by itself, maybe round the corners off a little bit, make it a little bit more comfortable. But I think we can do one step better. So what we're going to do, I've got a couple of used golf balls here, and for those of you who don't know, and I got this idea from Cody on the Wrangler Star channel, which I highly recommend if you're not subscribed or watch any of his videos. Definitely go check him out. But he kind of told everybody about using golf balls as file handles, as they fit the hands actually quite nicely. They're very ergonomic. And you can get these for almost nothing used. I've seen them anywhere from 20-25 cents a piece up to $1 a piece. And even for a couple dollars for a golf ball, I don't think that's too much for a good handle that's going to be comfortable to work with. But you can buy these by the hundreds on eBay and other places, yard sales, probably Craigslist. But at any rate, I had a pile of them laying around, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can't combine these with something like this to make ourselves a little dumbbell-shaped sanding block. So first I thought about using this length, but I think I want to make it just a little bit longer, just so I'm not crowding my thumbs or my hands while I'm working. And if we need to shorten it down at a later time, that's really no problem at all. So what we're going to go ahead and do to kind of establish the length here, I got this ruler, just going to kind of stick in my hands and kind of assume the position as if I were draw filing or hand sanding something. And I think right about there is a pretty good length. We'll say the golf balls are in about the middle of my hand, so we're looking at about 9 or 10 inches. Let's go ahead and just round up to 10 to be safe. And again, it won't be anything to trim this down if need be. So go ahead and just kind of mark that off with our thumb as I've misplaced my pencil. And this doesn't have to be exact by any means. Just a sanding stick for crying out loud. But, let's go ahead and cut this off on the bandsaw. We'll try to keep our thumbs on our hands. And that's that. Now we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and drill the holes in our golf balls real quickly. And just a little bit of a tip, these things are round. They may be a little bit hard to hold steadily on a flat table. And normally I would go over to the mill for this just because I like drilling things on that a little better. But these little holes that you often see in these drill tables are actually pretty good holders for round objects. And actually I got to lower the table a little bit more. Make sure we're roughly centered up there. And you can see that holds that just fine. Now, if for some reason you don't have a hole in the middle of your table, maybe you've made your own table or top cover or something, you could always use something like a bearing race, even a bottle cap, or even just drill a hole smaller than the diameter of the golf ball, maybe about half size, 3/4 size, and you know, stick the ball on top of that, it'll hold it just fine. But I'm just going to go ahead and line this up. And let's see, we'll go about half to 3/4 down. I was kind of afraid of that. Some of these golf balls do have kind of a liquid or a gunk in them. I'm really not sure what it is. And, you did see it kind of grab out of my hand there. Obviously, try to keep some kind of a good grip on it. Yeah, may have to get the mineral spirits out after a while. See if I can find maybe another golf ball with a dry center. For what it's worth, that was a Titleist. This Ultra seems to have a solid core, so may have to do a little bit of experimenting, and also a roll of electrical tape works pretty nice for kind of keeping these in place. Now, I'm just going to round this down. I use a 3/8 bit. This is 3/8 square, so the corners are going to be a little wider than that, obviously. So we'll just kind of rough round it down, taper it on the sander here, and we'll be ready to stick this in. Alright, I didn't quite go as deep on the golf balls as I thought I would, and you know, it's just a little bit longer than I want it, so let me go kind of trim that up. We'll take a couple inches off, and I'll be right back. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the sanding stick. So we're at about the 10-minute mark. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a video, but I'll make another one kind of showing in use, and we'll just upload that separately. So thanks for watching.